There are indications that the National Assembly may have mounted public pressure on the proposed amendment of the Nigerian Press Council and National Broadcasting Bills. Sponsor of the bill, Olusegun Odebumi, says the bills have been suspended. The proposed amendments have received widespread condemnation. Odebumi says he has initiated the suspension of the bills to allow for consultation with stakeholders in the industry.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, promises to kill any bill that seeks to gag the press or erode its autonomy and independence. His comments at an award ceremony organized by journalists covering the National Assembly are coming amidst the national outcry against the proposed amendment.
Will not be part of any bill that will seek to gag the press. I want to make that abundantly clear. If that is going to be any consolation, no bill will come to the floor of the House that seeks to gag the press. Because the press, as it's supposed to be, is supposed to be the voice of the people. However, and I hold very strongly to the view that there is press freedom and there is freedom of expression.
We're now joined by Kabiru Yusuf, the president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, for a look at this development. Glad to have you join us, Kabiru, in the studio.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, fantastic. What do you think about Olusegun Olubumi's comment that the bill has been suspended for further consultations with stakeholders or shareholders, stakeholders as you may call it? Would we say that is a pinfall for the media and it's all over?
No, I think it's too early to say that. I think what he probably means is that he wants to go back and correct what should have been done in the first place, which is consult with the stakeholders before proceeding with the bill. We pointed out to him in our engagement that we wished he had started with us. We are the ones in the media. We know the problems in the media. We do not object to anybody trying to step in and say, look, guys, why don't you correct what you are doing? We don't object to that. We ourselves have been trying to do this, and if the National Assembly or other stakeholders will come to us and say, guys, we know there are problems in the media. These are ways to correct them. Now, he didn't do that in the first place. We just learned that this bill has gone to second reading in the National Assembly, and we ourselves have not been asked our opinion about it. So I think probably what he's trying to say now is that, look, I'm suspending for a couple of weeks. I think this is what I heard him saying, so that we can go back again to do it.
Okay, now that the media came out with one voice, especially the print media, you know, talking about information blackout, with this suspension now, what will the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, what will be the NUJ bond, what will be the next line of action? And again, in addition to that, the Senate Committee Chairman on Media and Public Affairs has accused the media of waging an emotional blackmail war against the National Assembly. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I guess they don't like what they are seeing, that the media has actually come together to fight this. And this is not just newspapers, even broadcast media. Because you guys are in the same problem as we are.
Absolutely.
Perhaps even worse. So we don't want to go the way of the broadcast media, where the Minister of Information is the one that decides what is the right to be published or broadcast. We think that the media has internal mechanisms that, you know, ensures that the news that is fit to publish is what goes to the public. So we think that this campaign is something that sensitizes the public about what is going on. At the same time, we ourselves are developing our own framework, which we will engage Mr. Odubumi, if the time he has given us, to say, look, this is a better way to go about it. This is not something that somebody should just wake up and say, look, I want to do this. Okay. We are looking at best practices around the world. We have examples around us in Ghana, in Britain, in India, where a mechanism has been developed which between the media and the National Assembly, and it works very well for everybody.
I want to actually take you up on that. You say you don't want the government to regulate you, am I correct? Yes. But there have been cases, you will agree with me, of what I could call irresponsible journalism, where you have unverified news dished out to the consuming public, and nothing seemingly gets done. Are you really, really regulating your members?
I think we're doing a very good job of ensuring that the media checks itself, trains its own personnel. There are all sorts of processes that ensures that what gets out to the public has gone through reporters, sub-editors, editors. All this is there. And the greatest check on the media is that the consuming public is not forced to buy newspapers that dish out to them fake news. That's a check. Nobody is forced to buy a newspaper or to tune a television channel. You go to mediums that you think are credible. And why are they credible? Because they don't tell you it is raining when it is not. So I think these things are there. I think the concern about fake news has exploded with the social media. In the social media, you can sit in your house and decide that, look, I'm going to broadcast this, or I'm going to show this video. You can't do this in television. Are we fake here?
No,
absolutely not.
We are real,
we must
isn't it?
Of course, the NUJ is asking for self-regulation, and I'm wondering what those regulations you even have in place in the first place. Are they strong enough? If not, what kind of regulations would you want to put in place in a way that will be satisfactory both to to all parties involved?
I think they can be better. We do have regulations. As you know, we have code of conduct. We have rules that says, look, you don't publish a news item unless you balance it. You talk to both parties, you know. If you commit an error, and we're human, if you now publish something and it's wrong, you apologize the following day, you correct and say, this is what has happened. So these are there. But what we think we should take further is to say, okay, if there are complaints about any news medium or any reporter, there should be a press complaint commission. And they exist in some countries. And this should be independent. It's not just journalists. Indeed, at one point, we appointed a judge of a Lagos High Court and say you are our ombudsman. Complaints about the media, which there are, should come to you and you educate. And then the newspaper is forced to publish both the complaint and the judgment. These are processes we started, and this is what we call self-regulation. And we're willing to engage with the National Assembly. How do we do this? If there are better ways to do this, we're willing to do it.
All right, I guess that's all the time we have. I'll talk to you about the speaker's comment, but we'll leave it there. Kabiru Yusuf, the president of the
Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the engagement.